So, picture this. It's 2024. This is Ria, a brilliant student who just got into a top engineering college in Mumbai. She's not just there for an education, though. She's carrying the hopes of our entire family, who are back in Nashik, struggling with poverty. She's sharp, she's driven, and she has absolutely no clue that the hostel room she's about to unpack in has a story of its own. A story that could completely destroy her. This right here, this is the thought that wakes her up in the morning and keeps her studying late into the night. It's not just a goal, it's everything. For Ria, failing isn't an option. The pressure is immense, but so is her determination. And this is where things start to go wrong. Ria is so focused on building her future, she's completely blind to a past that's lurking, waiting for her. The college has a history, and one room in particular is about to make its presence known. Okay, so Ria gets to her hostel super excited to get settled. She finds her room, number 202. The door's unlocked, so she figures her roommate must already be inside. She gives a little knock, no answer, so she just heads on in, ready to start her new life. And right away, something's a little off. Her official paperwork clearly says her roommate is a girl named Arya, but the girl actually in the room, she introduces herself as Alicia. She's friendly enough and just says, "Oh, Arya. Yeah, she left about 5 days ago." Ria, just wanting to get unpacked, shrugs it off. It seems like a simple mix-up, you know? But this is the very first thread that starts to unravel. Her first day goes great. New classes, new people, all the normal college stuff. But once the sun goes down, that tiny bit of confusion about her roommate's name is about to explode into pure, absolute terror. This is where the real horror story begins. Raya is walking back to her room late that night. The hallway is long and totally silent. And then she hears it. The distinct sound of a girl sobbing, absolutely hysterical. But it's not coming from behind a door. It sounds like it's right there in the empty hall with her. She whips her head around, and there's no one there. Her heart is pounding. Who could that be? The only name that pops into her head is the one from the paperwork, the girl who supposedly left. So she calls out, her voice trembling a little, "Arya?" And just like that, the crying stops. Dead silence. And honestly, that's even scarier. And then, out of the empty air, a voice whispers back, "Yes, it's me." That's it for Ria. She bolts. She sprints to her door, hammering on it, absolutely frantic to get inside, because whatever answered her is right behind her in that hallway, and her door is locked. Finally, the door swings open, and Alicia is just sitting on her bed, staring at the door like she knew Ria was coming. She doesn't ask what's wrong or what happened. No, she looks at Ria's terrified face and asks something that makes her blood run cold. "You saw her too, didn't you?" And before Ria can even answer, Alicia warns her, "Don't talk about the shadow. Don't ask questions, or we will be next." As those words are hanging in the air, bam! A violent, furious banging starts on their door. So hard it feels like the frame is going to splinter. Ria just freezes. She is completely, utterly convinced that the spirit of Arya is on the other side of that door, trying to get in. The shift from curiosity to psychological terror is complete. So, the next day, the raw fear from the night before starts to curdle into this thick fog of confusion. Raya is desperately trying to piece together what happened, but every single person she talks to gives her a totally different story. Her reality is starting to crack. The story just keeps twisting. First, her new friends go quiet and refuse to even say Arya's name. Then, Alicia tells her this awful story about a student who was assaulted by a professor a couple of years back. Then, get this, Ria is in the canteen and she sees a girl being dragged out by hospital staff, and her friend Tanisha points and says, "That's Arya, she's a total psycho." So, Arya's not a ghost? She's alive? Nothing makes any sense. And then, there's this. Tanisha tells her about the big campus rumor, that there's a haunted room on their floor, room 200, and it's so bad they had to chain it shut. And Raya thinks, yeah, I've seen that chained room, it is 200. But a little seed of doubt is planted. Why are all the stories so close, but not quite lining up with her own reality in room 202? Ria just can't take it anymore. The ghost stories, the rumors, her own terrifying night, it's too much. She gets called to the principal's office and brings Alicia along for support, hoping to finally get some straight answers. Well, she's about to get the truth, and it's going to shatter everything. The principal starts by apologizing. He says there's been a little administrative error.
He explains that they were supposed to chain off a room on her floor because of some disturbing rumors, but the peon got the room number wrong. The haunted room, the one that was meant to be sealed for good, it wasn't 200. It was hers. Room 202.
The principal, seeing how shaken she is, offers her a new room immediately. Rhea looks over at Alicia, then says, "Okay. Thank you. We both will move." And the principal just stops. He looks at her, confused, and says, "We both? Who are you talking about? That room was allotted only to you. Arya left college weeks ago."
Rhea gets defensive. She insists, "No, Alicia is right here with me." The principal's face just fills with concern, and he says very gently, "Rhea, there is no one standing next to you." She turns to where Alicia was just a second ago. And there is nothing, just empty space. As Rhea is reeling from this, the peon who's been standing quietly in the corner leans over to the principal and whispers the most terrifying thing she could possibly hear. He says, "Sir, 5 days ago, when we came to take Arya, she was saying the exact same things. She was also talking to someone who wasn't there." And just like that, all the confusing, contradictory pieces snap into place. But the picture they form isn't just about a ghost. It's about something way more sinister. A curse born from a real tragedy that has already broken one student and is now doing the exact same thing to another. The peon lays out the whole horrible truth. 2 years ago, a student, the real Alicia, was murdered in that building by a professor. The campus legend says her ghost still walks that hallway, knocking on doors, looking for the help that never came. And her room, the room she lived and died in, was room 202. It's become the heart of the haunting, a place with a terrible, infectious curse. You see the pattern, right? It's terrifyingly clear. Arya moves into room 202. She starts seeing the ghost of Alicia. She slowly loses her mind and ends up in a mental hospital. Now Rhea moves in, and after only 5 days, she's walking the exact same path. The room is doing it again. But Rhea's mind just can't accept it. She's too far gone. As the principal is on the phone with her parents, telling them to come get her, she's protesting, totally trapped in this reality the room is built for her. "I was with her for 5 days," she's yelling. "She can't be dead. If I go back to the room right now, she'll be there." The curse has won. So this leaves us with a really chilling question. What really happened in room 202? Was this a genuine spirit, the ghost of Alicia, desperately trying to find help? Or is the room itself the monster, a place so soaked in tragedy that it preys on the minds of its occupants, creating a shared delusion that drives them mad? The story leaves you right there, on that